Joining us now to discuss more is Caroline Woods, senior markets correspondent for the network. Caroline, I will say, not exactly getting the attention maybe it deserves today. We're still higher on an overall low day in the market, and I mean that's I think a great barometer of like a lot of the demand we're seeing from Nvidia, Apple, as it has ties to both of those companies. So walk us through what we got as far as the report today.
Hey there, Jenny. Yes, TSMC, one of the lone winners, especially in the tech space today. And those gains actually picking up a little bit of steam right now, up about 1%, a little more than 1%. So those modest gains are picking up some steam. So not exactly FOMO levels of gains at this point. But if you take a look at the one-year chart, it's been pretty impressive. Now up about 108% over the past 1 year. And as you said, bucking the downtrend of the overall market and specifically tech and chip makers today as well. This comes after reporting strong December sales, which translate into record-setting fourth quarter revenue. Yet another sign that AI chip demand is strong. This, of course, is the world's largest chip manufacturer. As you said, has big customers like Apple and Nvidia. They make a variety of chips, but it's really a dominant player for high-end AI chips, and that could be a good sign for 2025 demand. Now, TSMC said December sales were up 58% from December of last year, coming in at $8.4 billion US dollars. That was ahead of estimates, and that brings fourth quarter sales to about 26.4 billion US dollars. So they had previously estimated between 26.1 billion and 26.9 billion. So that's in line in terms of the fourth quarter number. When it comes to full year sales, those were up 34% year over year, coming in at 2.9 trillion new Taiwan dollars. So that's the highest annual sales that TSMC has seen since going public back in the 90s. So as you said, it's giving us a preview of what we can expect to see when Taiwan Semiconductor reports earnings next week. They'll report on the 16th, on Thursday. So there shouldn't be any top line surprises based on the fact that we now know December sales. Fourth quarter EPS is expected to come in around $2.19. So keep an eye out for that. But it's really going to be outlook for 2025 that's going to be key. And analysts seem pretty upbeat in terms of what we could hear from TSMC in terms of the full year outlook. Deutsche Bank looking for guidance of between 20 and 25% sales growth for the full year, and then JP Morgan looking for high 20s in terms of revenue growth for the full year. So as you said, we are seeing some I don't know, is 1% modest anymore? That's a little more than modest gains right now, and bucking the overall downtrend of the market.
AMD on fast market, analysts are starting to jump ship there. Not all of them, but a few of them. I don't know that any are jumping ship on a TSM. Are you seeing anything?
No, definitely not. If you take a look at the breakdown, despite the fact that shares are up, as I said, more than 100% over the past year, 94% of analysts still have a buy rating. The other 6% are in the hold camp. So no sells on TSMC. The median price target is 238. So it's currently trading around 209 right now. So that implies about little less than 15% upside from current levels. But the street high, which I know you also look at, Alex, is 265. And I did notice only 3 price targets are actually below where it's currently trading. So analysts on the whole rate this as a buy and expect quite a bit of upside from current levels.
Yeah, and it's our low. I think the 1% move is impressive, frankly, Caroline, because nothing else is. I mean, you look at Nvidia down 2.5%, AMD down 4.6%, I mean, Broadcom, all these names that, I mean, different performance amongst actually those groups of stocks, but all that are seen as supposedly supposed to benefit from this AI hype cycle. So, I mean, as far as like, it seems though, for Taiwan, they're still giving very encouraging numbers. I mean, we're expecting earnings, like you said, next week. And I do think that when it comes to AI, this is personally one of my favorite ways to look at it, but nothing else is really trading in suit, which is kind of a mystery.
Yeah, I think also I believe it was a Bloomberg report that President Biden or the Biden administration is considering weighing additional sanctions before they leave office, before President-elect Trump comes into power, on the export of AI chips to to China. So I think that that's likely weighing on shares as well, specifically AI chips used in data centers and the like. So I think that that could also be weighing on chip makers as well today. Obviously, we are seeing just overall weakness too in response to the better than expected jobs report. The whole good news is bad news for the market when it comes to the path of interest rates and such. So I do think it's notable given the strong sales that the market is rewarding Taiwan Semi. But let's see next week when they actually report too if there's any additional positivity in terms of the response, or maybe it'll be priced in. You just never know in terms of stock reaction.
No kidding. You really never know because, again, hanging on to a gain today, and we'll have to see where we are once we get earnings. And I'm sure the market could be in a whole different place by next Thursday. So we will be following it very closely. Appreciate it, as always. Caroline Wood, Senior Markets Correspondent for the network.